1400 metres, racing now. Salim out wider was quick into stride with Vercors. Al Nassib's going to try and work across from the deep here. Creative Story getting into a nice spot on the inner. From Investo, Native Approach close enough today, just better than midfield here, and is happy to sit a little wide. Then came deeper out on the course there was Andreas Versalius, followed by next there was Al Najm, Al Salt, and Swing For Me is the last one. So Salim, as expected, is going to roll them up in front here by a length and a half. Al Nassib's ended up getting to the position of just outside the leader here in second position. From Vercors, then came Native Approach closer. Creative Story's going to look to angle out here, 3 back on the inside. From Investo, then came Andreas Versalius. From Al Salt, second to last Al Najm, and Swing For Me is the last one. Salim's going to try and do it from barrier to box. He's 2.5 lengths here inside the 500 on Vercors. Al Nassib, he seems to be handling the grass at the moment. Then came Native Approach from Creative Story, looking for a way to angle clear. Here is Buick. Andreas Versalius next from Investo. Salim continuing on with it up in front from Al Nassib. Creative Story having to work hard here as well. Salim up in front still with enough an advantage here, but Creative Story now starts to get on level terms along with Al Nassib. Creative Story in the final stages streams clear to win. Al Salt's going to run into second here tightly. Margin on the line a length. Al Salt second over, Photo third, maybe Al Nassib from Salim. Then came next over there was Al Najm from Investo. Native Approach didn't find anything there in the final few hundred. Swing For Me next over from Vercors and Andreas Versalius, favourite too good. Creative Story, it just was a matter of angling out, pace was good enough. Great runs by Salim. Look for him Super Saturday. He's done plenty there and shown plenty as well. And great run by Al Salt and even Al Nassib. I think that's a tick for him on the grass. He certainly is a horse that handles both surfaces. But it'll be all Creative Story. Successful night for William Buick, goes 1 for 1. And the numbers across the line there, 9, 8, 4 and 5 in the Lincoln Aviator Presidential Race over 1400.
Creative Story has won again for William Buick and Charlie Appleby. It wasn't entirely straightforward because he had to wait for a bit of a gap. He needed a little bit of help here, made sure that he could get the clean run, and he got it. And once he got out into the clear, it was pretty inevitable what was happening. He settled beautifully in the early part of the race, very uncomplicated horse, and he's powered away to win. Very good run from Al Salt, back to something like his better form. He's only been beaten about a length in the end. Fine run from Al Nassib back in third. First time he has raced competitively on the turf. And an excellent run, as you heard from Pat in the call, from Salim. It'll be interesting to see what the options are for him on Super Saturday, but that was encouraging on his first start since December 2023. That was really encouraging for Salim. But Creative Story continues his upward curve. A horse who showed lots of talent in the early part of the race, lots of promise in the early part of his racing career. He returned with a good win where he beat the Camden Colt here on the 10th of January, and just a month later he has cruised to another win. Look at the way he eventually picks up the gap. In the end, Al Nassib probably just leant over a bit to his left, and Creative Story, stable companion Native Approach, leant to his right, and that gave William Buick plenty of room to start manoeuvring him, and he picked up in fine style. Of course, last time out was over the same distance as tonight. He seems really well suited by the 7 furlong trip, and he's a horse that is progressing very quickly.
Thank you.
Race 6 tonight was the Lincoln Aviator Presidential Race, worth a lot of money, $350,000. It's been won by a son of Too Darn Hot out of Volume, owned by Godolphin, trained by Charlie Appleby, and ridden by William Buick. A round of applause. He's made it 2 out of 2 so far this year. His name, remember it, Creative Story.